Welcome. Now, in this module, we're going to take a look at ISO 27001-2013 Controls Appendix. This is part 2, and in this module, we're going to take a look at human resource security from the appendix. Let's take a look at it in more detail. So, human resource security is the group level control A7, and this has 6 controls. So, let's take a look at that. Now, A.7 is the group level control, and it's human resource security. And as we had mentioned, the control objective will be stated in yellow, and we have prior to employment. So this is a section prior to employment, which is a control objective. And the control objective states to ensure that employees and contractors understand their responsibilities and are suitable for the roles for which they are considered. And these are the activities being performed prior to employment. Now, A.7 prior to employment has 2 controls, screening and terms and conditions of employment. And then we have A.7.2 control objective during employment, which is actually during the employment of the staff. And we have 3 controls: management responsibilities, information security awareness, education and training, and disciplinary process. So let's take a look selectively at some of these. Now, A7.1.1 refers to screening. And in screening, let's take a look at the control in green. Background verification checks on all candidates for employment shall be carried out in accordance with relevant laws, regulations, and ethics, and shall be proportional to the business requirements, the classification of the information to be accessed, and the perceived risks. So what we're really saying here is that based on what the staff member will do, what is the criticality of the information and the responsibility being given to the employee, we're going to perform screening, and that consists of background checks. And moving on, we talk about control A712, terms and conditions of employment. And here the control in green says the contractual agreements with employees and contractors shall state their and the organization's responsibilities for information security. And this is usually done in the form of terms and conditions, a contract, or in terms of confidentiality agreements, for example. Now, moving on, we're looking at A.7, the group level control, and we're now going to look at control objective A7.2 during employment. And here we have 3 controls: management responsibilities, information security awareness, education and training, and disciplinary process. Now let's take a look selectively at some of them. A721, management responsibilities in green, says management shall require all employees and contractors to apply information security in accordance with the established policies and procedures of the organization. And in this control, it's actually saying that's a management responsibility which comes into force during the employment. And this is a function which has to be implemented by the management so that the staff members actually implement the policies and procedures. And then moving on to the third control objective, A7.3, termination and change of employment, which is the last stage in the employment cycle. It says termination or change of employment responsibilities. And let's take a look at some of the at the detailed description. In green, it says information security responsibilities and duties that remain valid after termination or change of employment shall be defined, communicated to the employee or contractor, and enforced. So that was the last control is actually saying that whatever the responsibilities are for the information security terms and conditions and obligations of both the organization and the employee should actually be organized and implemented. Now, that was all about human resource security that we looked at in this module. And in the next module, we'll look at asset management. So let's go ahead and do that in the next module. Thank you.